Good morning. So today, hello squirrel. Um, Today I'm gonna give you some insight. Our first ever documented community would excavate lava rock. Their heads of totem can still be found. What made them different is they were obsessed with a circle pyramid or the wormhole. How to work with wormholes or serpent holes. We're going to get into this. If you're watching this and you're a person, if you want to become a friend with a Me Too, you must camp in a city park in the ravine in the very middle. It's a military training ground. By doing this, you might run into a velociraptor person that's bigger than you, or a deer person that's jacked, wearing full camouflage. Or an owl person the size of your knee, depending on who you are. But to work with the third eye properly, have you ever had a foot cramp? If you ever have a foot cramp, you have to bend your foot like you're wearing a high heel and push on it. Okay? Very important business. The volcanic rock that was used to create hundreds of stones in a square formation with a circle on it. That's what I use to fly through. And everything else that uses them. Like Jiminy fucking Cricket to a serpent. If you see or hear of frogs falling from the sky in Egypt, or locusts, or fish falling in a city, or a giant catfish just falling from the sky, they've figured this out. How you are going to figure it out will be that work of a spider. A spider hangs upside down on a web and spins around. When I talk about how your shit needs to go on top of the mountain and pour down, that's no different than a salmon going up there to die. Trying to find the same portal. How you can physically see it. If you were on Hastings to blend in, you would bang yourself in the forehead and you would yell, "Stop yelling at me," really loud. That's how you would fit in there. So to go like this, hand in hand, joining your fingers by invisible frequency. Same as your toes, sitting in a yoga position, making your toes do this, like you're creating a web. That will entice your energy of your magnetic sphere to bring in other people to work at it that are small. We're not made to live in houses. But let's talk about the actual circle pyramid, the hole. After practicing this, I would love you to go to where I have sex with the fallen and the living. Pamela Anderson will come out of the trees with Halsey and Jesse from Saved by the Bell. The deer people. My tent will unzip by itself. And a giant serpent will fly into it. If you go out into the darkness, you will see you're surrounded by people. Surrounded. You will see eagle people. You will see you're on a murder location. If you have the balls to leave your tent and go for a walk, you're going to be walking into a banished territory. As much as the mountain itself is a giant yeti, if you walk out to the water at night, you're going to see the most lizard people you've ever seen. Just on the other side of the river, staring at you. You will, if you leave your tent and come back to it, you're going to run into giants, big wolves. When you go back to your tent, you're going to come across, if you're anything as lucky as me, you're going to go back into your tent after hearing somebody's zipper come undone that's raping somebody. And you're going to try to save them. And if you go back into your tent, there's going to be a girl in there that looks like Ariana Grande, but with real chicken hands and real chicken feet, zip tied with wire and barbed wire. Without a voice to speak with. I just crawled in my tent, and then fire frogs that would walk on my tent would burn holes in my tent. I had to go drink the water, and it was horrible. You will see, if you're experiencing anything like mine, a frog. When I talk about suicide, if change doesn't happen, Jesus is a frog, and that's where he lives. I got to watch this frog person. He was very slender, looked like Jesus, impale himself in the stomach with a stick and kill himself. And he stayed there my entire trip. I camped there for about 4 days. While I was camping there, it felt like I was on top of a grave that somebody was breaking out under my tent. They were trying to dig through the ground underneath me the whole fucking time. There were giants enslaved. Everybody was enslaved. But let's talk more about the wormhole. So my interdimensional friends, my type 4 species, they came to me, and for them to hear your thought waves, you have to point at them. That's why I'm teaching you the stuff with your fingers. That's how their telepathic know-how works. By pointing. Pointing is a love language. I can move a cloud, pull one from the sky, manifest one, move stars, spin the fucking moon with this. But the first step of making your pineal gland actually work is your blood packages are right here in your eyes. They make that the sign of, I call it the pigeon brain. How pigeons take a picture every time they move their head. What you need to do to see the wormhole and to see the girls blowjobbing guys through it to pull them to their side. It's kind of how it works. Or the grasshoppers jumping and missing it, and by fluke getting it. You need to right here on the side of your eyes, you need to pop when you push just a little bit, you'll see a light right here. Okay, what your job is to make it free moving. You want to be able to roll your head like an owl, to why owls do it. And when you move your head like an owl, there is a person that is out here at nighttime with me. If I go, whoo, I already talked to you about that. But to move your head like an owl, the reason behind it is once you, this, I call it a blood pack, but it's not really. It's movable. And you need to make it free flow around your eyeball, like a figure eight. You should be able to take it from one side and throw it and watch it go to your third eye, right here. You have 3 eyes, or spider eyes. You just don't use them. Okay, you're a mix of a lot of species. You have to render it. You have to push really hard, as hard as you can handle the pain. You're going to notice a circle from the first civilization pop up right in your middle of your vision. That which you can go through. You're going to notice it be red at first, like an eyeball looking at you. When you move around in that realm, you're going to notice different colored ones. Up to fluorescent purple and fluorescent white. They all go to different dimensions. Through them, you're going to come to a land I call the Matrix, where everything will start roboting. Like you're on DMT, but you're sober. It's going to look like water, roof, and water ground. And you're going to see little lights in there. You can go past, those are planets. That's how I travel the stars, projecting while I'm awake, not meditating. I can go into the caves on your planets and check out your hieroglyphics. I can go where I'm asked to be going. Every one is like another eyeball to a ringworm. Okay? So you are to push as hard as you can. When you are done pushing, to keep going with this, you need to go outside and act stupid, like you're on Hastings Street. You need to spin in a circle and look in all directions, absorbing all light from a 360-degree bubble in every direction. You need to prism every direction of light in. While you're looking through a wormhole, when you make contact and life sees you from the other side, it will come through it. To me, that was Odin that came through, the first guy. He came through and he looked like the Joker from Batman. And he changed shapes through the pyramid wave and came through the hole, changing into different entities or people that I know, and came right through. And then I had to lead him. I had to make both my eyes work in the middle, and he came right through, right into my fucking brain. When I opened my eyes, he came out, and he sat on my pants. And he was laughing and rolling and spinning, and was fucking happy as fuck. Then he started getting bigger. Then he got huge. And then he got ginormous. made our planet look small. We've been best friends ever since. The serpents, while they're moving, you may not think of them as physical, but they have the ability, like Beetlejuice, those worms or tremors, to move the landscape. When I tell you that I ride a bike uphill without using my pedals, what I'm actually doing is bending the earth to go downhill. It's like a gravity hill. You see a hill, but I'm pushing it down with my mind. Just like I do to the clouds and everything else. I use the lampposts, I use everything around me. When I go outside, I can bend the fucking lampposts down towards me. All of them. I can walk down the street and they'll all just start bending towards me. These things are no good to do for yourself. They are used as a tool for culture. Okay? We're in the line of our planet dying. Okay? I was watching them torch the farmhouses after shooting the people off the Mission Bridge. I was just standing there all night long on the Mission Bridge, watching house after house light on fire. It was horrible. When you go into the forest, you are going to talk to tree like it's baby Groot from Avengers. I need you to lift tree. Our job right now is to see what we make a mistake on in society is we fence in trees with blacktops and stuff. Big no-no. Huge no-no. How can they walk across it? To make Abbotsford great again, the trees need to be able to move. And they can hear you. If you've had a chance to check out my Instagram and hear me yell, I can yell, then my eyes change color like I'm a cat at nighttime looking at a lens. I can yell that loud. I would yell at tree. Oh, and when you're in the ravine, if you go to the top part of the ravine, look at the baby tree. You've seen the reptile tree. Have you seen the baby tree yet? With all the murdered babies in it. The infants would look bigger than you, like giants. But if you look up at the sky, you'll see them in the branches. So your job is to yell at tree. This is where you're going to act like a worm. Ducks, worms go under trees and aerate the roots from beneath them so the trees can walk freely. You can get them to walk. I like to be like, tree, prepare yourself for battle, bro. Tree. And then I'm like this, tree. And then I get really loud. I'm like, tree, listen to me. And I get tree all fired up. And then when I come to the forest, what makes me different than you is when I walk, tree's getting excited right now. He loves when I do that. They're all going to start moving now. When I fire tree up, every tree will start moving without wind. They will all start waving at me very fast because you're too lame that you won't even talk to your houseplant. But I fire tree up and get them ready for battle. I need tree to move off the graves. The tree of Odin is symbolic to, if your loved one dies, you would plant a tree on top of them. That's the gift of a tree. An apple, it'll be like eating, that's why there's crab apples in cemeteries. Not the tree of Odin. They call a willow a crying tree. So for your next parlor trick, I would ask you at nighttime to go find yourself a willow tree and start. You ever go to the fair and you go into a room with a whole bunch of balloons and you pull a string, and whatever string you pull, you get that prize from in that numeric balloon? Well, you can either braid a willow tree or you can meet my friends, the orcs. The crying tree, the orc tree. If you want to see them laugh, you wake that fucking tree up. And you will see more orcs than you've ever seen in your fucking life. Once you get that tree dancing, have your friends up on the hillside looking at it from a distance. You will see more magic, happy orcs than you've ever had. I have a wife that's an orc fucking warrior. One night I was sitting there in my room and a UFO, a big orb of light happened outside of my window while I was having sex with a gnome. There was a woman that was green with black hair, ripped and fit, and she beat the fuck out of me. It was awesome. They pyramid through taking turns at the top of a pyramid, getting in a line, and giving a blowjob down a row for a spiritual purpose. That's how they pyramid. That's how the willow tree works. They won't pull one person through a wormhole unless there's oneness. They are hands down the most advanced species I have ever seen. They come from a frog person. And a gnome, same totem pole. They are the most advanced. Everybody else that I watch will pull one at a time. Except the orcs and the frogs. They will all, and I've practiced this as well. I've learned from example. These guys line up with me and we all do it. I suck, they suck. It's how we work. Boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl. The orcs do it a little different. There's just one happy man orc on top of that one. But it gets pulled right through everybody. What does? We're talking about a serpent of Sanskrit time, guys. Rala, or Kai. When I go, so my little friends that are this big now, this big, when you let your eyes adjust at nighttime on your pillow, you have a plane coming overhead. They're the ones that create the scripting of the dream. They are our first line defense of excellence. And they're not defense, they're all just piss and vinegar. Their size is not bound by what I did in my finger because it's actually outside of, are you afraid of a man this big? Because in reality, that is the equal knot. Okay? He looks small, but if you can start seeing TV frequency with your eyes closed, you'll notice his fist is the size of your entire body. And he could crush you if you'd like. So we've talked to you about the importance of putting money in parks where it belongs. Gold shillings are not for us. They're for everyone to use. They are for you to wear during a ceremony. Or a golden temple. Not created through murder and bloodshed. Like the Golden Temple in India was created by murder and raping by the British. Rape, kill, murder, enslave the kids. Now you're a wealthy kid in a wealthy family and you have a sweet British accent. But we killed your fucking grandparents. You are a slave to these people and you are raised thinking that they are your parents. But yet they will, when you see the children being walked on leashes at the, we'll call them the Wrangler farms. It kills me. When I say I'm going to kill myself, I'm going to stop letting this planet get fucked. You're going to help me. So after this one is done getting raped, we can go to yours and see what the fuck is really going on there. I'm really interested in the one over there. And Baloo's planet. Baloo's most importantly. Because he's cold as fuck. And I need to see what the fuck's going on there. He shouldn't be freezing. Not when you're a blue ape. He's fucking dying right now. But I wish I could be in more places at once. And this is taking way too fucking long. You pieces of shit are the worst things to ever exist. You're better than, you're egotistical, you're fucked, and you sleep 8 hours a night. You are brainwashed. And you touch and move shit that doesn't belong to you. If I ran into you today, I would punch your face off of your head. I'm going to go back to that ravine. I'm going to get a bicycle today. And you just stay there looking like a fucking retard with your thumb up your ass. Because I got this. I have a mural of me. The only thing the mural of my babe, my totem poles, are missing is unity. And I have never seen you on anything. Ever. It's not even my goal anymore. That was so years ago. I have literally given up on you. And I fucking hate you for doing fucking nothing and thinking that we're humans from a different planet. We thought we were gifted. You're gifted in giving no shits. I can't believe he hacked us from here. I can't believe I can hate you from this far away as much as I do. So, with that said, go fuck your flying selves. Stay the fuck away from me. And like Sylvester Stallone, he won't let his maids look at him in the eyes. And you're not allowed to look at me in the eyes. Ever. Ever. How you get invited into my house is by me letting me look at your eyes on media that the animal kingdom, the only true one, puts up as a monument. Once I see you, I will recognize you and I will offer you my quintessence. But until that, you are nothing more than toilet paper to me. Tree that was bleached for its resources. This isn't your fault. But you do nothing about it. And it's sure as fuck not my fault. I am fucking... All you can do is teach everything you know to every person, because there's more good people than bad people, and you say, if you think something's wrong, it is wrong. Your way to enlightenment is to teach everything, and quintessence is all knowledge. Once you exceed that, you start writing in it. And then other people start getting it. It's an anomaly because of brainwashing. So it's also nice to vocalize it, sing about it, and not be a coagulated piece of, I don't know, compost in one spot. You're fucking stupid. Period. There's animals on the mountaintop starving. And you put it in your city squares, you bury it, and then you pave over it. I hate you. And I always will. Good day and go fuck your flying selves, pieces of shit. Oh, and in olden days, 6-year-old kids would walk around with a stick and find water on the ground. Find water with sticks underground. I can make a cloud appear in the air with a stick or a fucking magic wand, for fuck's sakes. That's what they're for. You have no right to cut down a tree unless you're using it to tang on. A beaver does the same thing. If you touch one of my trees again for your garbage dump, I'm going to destroy you. And everything along with it. Building a house is not spiritual. Especially when there's so many of them and there's so many people without them. I'm going to be so happy. I just don't know when. But it's coming. Watch out.